Hey guys, LootWizard here, and it is the first Friday of the month, which means we have a new mythic troop out. This one's called Amarok, and I don't know really anything about it yet. I just got home from work shortly ago, so we're going to take a look at what it does first, and then I'm going to go try to get it with my keys. So hopefully this is not another really depressing episode of me spending all of my keys and getting nothing. But you can share these moments with me, and that's part of the fun. So we'll see what happens. Uh, let's check out what it does first. It's an elemental and a beast, which is interesting because we have the Miraji Queen, which will make elemental start with 50% mana. We also have Forest Guardian, which will make beasts start with 50% mana. So we can cut this 24 cost here in half with either one of those troops in the team. So that's pretty cool. It's a Broken Spire troop, and it has a red, yellow, and brown color. 24 mana cost is, pretty average for mythic troops. They range from 20 upwards to like 32 here for Zul'Goth. But yeah, so 24 cost here. Let's go ahead and see what it does. Molten Feast. Deal 34 damage to an enemy. There is a 2% chance to devour them, boosted by red gems and burning enemies. If the enemy dies, create 9 red gems. Okay. So it's a devour type of troop, but on top of a devour chance, it's actually doing some spell damage, so it's not completely useless if it doesn't devour. You're going to want to use this troop, it looks like, in a team where you're going to generate a lot of red mana on the board. Preferably, I'm thinking of the class, the Sunspear, because that will start a Firestorm every single turn and will have a lot of red on the board. And that'll increase the devour chance because that's what it's boosted by. Now, the boost ratio is a 4, so I'm thinking that's 4% added to the 2 for every single red gem on the board, as well as per burning enemy. So that's actually not too bad, because with the Sunspear class, you could get, upwards of maybe 20 red gems on the board, which, that's almost close to 100% devour chance, I think, at that point. So that's interesting. For sure, but you're not going to want to cast this troop until you do have enough red gems on the board somewhere. I'm not the greatest person at math, so I can't do these calculations off the top of my head here, but 4 times, let's say, 10 is 40, so you'd get like 40% chance, really 42 because you're adding the 2% here. So if you have 10 red gems on the board, you can get like an extra 40% chance to devour, which isn't too bad, but once you get up to like 20, that would be like, 82? So 82% chance to devour if you get about 20 red gems on the board. But then there's burning enemies, which is also part of that boost ratio. So if the entire enemy team is burning, that's another 4 times 4 chance there. So you can get it pretty close to 100% chance under those conditions, but it's not going to be as good as High King Iron Gut, because it does rely on the red gems, but it will be a kind of interesting troop. It does reduce damage from skulls by 50%. It will burn and stun a random enemy when matching 4 or more gems, so that's good because burning is going to help you increase your devour chance, so that's something that's good there. Reduce damage from skulls by 50%. It really has nothing to do with skulls, so the only reason that I would say you would want to put this at the top of your team is that once it devours an enemy troop, it's going to add that attack and armor and life and all that stuff to itself, so it will be pretty tanky if you can keep devouring with it. But other than that, I don't really see a reason to put it at the top of your team. Now, as far as where I would rank this, the fact that you have to do some kind of outside ability to get the red gems on the board to boost the devour chance ranks it a little lower for me. But if we can dependably and reliably get enough red gems on the board, this troop's probably going to fall into like an A rank for me on a tier list. I don't think it's going to be S. I could be wrong, but just from looking at it, I think it's going to be at least A. It might fall into the lower part of A, depending on how reliable or unreliable the Devour chance is, but that's just looking at it from there, I would say that's what it is in my list of Mythic troops. So this here is a pretty good deal, but I'm not probably going to do that. So let's go open those keys. Now, is this Mythic troop worth it? That's with a thought that I just had and lost it for a second. Is it worth it? I think this troop is probably worth the keys to try to get it because, like I said, it's about A tier for me, just looking at its ability. The fact that you can get a high Devour chance by getting more red gems on the board seems like it's going to be a decent troop to use. I still think there's better troops, though, and more reliable troops, probably. The Lord of Slaughter is definitely better than that one, I would say, and other troops like probably even like Tina 9000, because that's pretty reliable. Once you get the mana up, it's going to do that true damage and be pretty awesome. So we're going to start with probably our glory key. Well, actually, no. We're going to start with guild keys. I actually saved up 22,000 this time. I think I only had 10,000 on the last time. So we got a little over double what I had here. And my guild already has 40,000 seals. Level 6 chests. That's when you know you have 40,000 seals here. And that's going to give you the highest chance to get your mythic troop out of the guild seals. So, I already have all of the Guardian troops already all ascended to Mythic, because that's another thing in your guild seals that helps you have a better chance of getting other Mythic troops in here, is if you got to get all of your guild Guardian troops all up to Mythic, and then that'll increase, because otherwise there's like something like a 50% chance of those things showing up in these seals, unless you have them at Mythic. Once you got them to Mythic status, and I think like 5 copies of them, then they'll stop showing up in here. So that does increase your chances of getting a Mythic or even a Legendary troop in here. So I'm at that point, so we're going to see what we get out of the out of these guild seals. And I don't know. I'm kind of nervous because I've had some really bad luck. I had bad luck with the Lord of Slaughter, and then I had really bad luck with Wolf Garrick spending those 1,400 event keys. So let's man, I almost feel like I should say a prayer or something before I do this, you know. But okay. Let's get right into it. I'm going to open these. We're going to do it 1,000 at a time. And we got 2 legendaries here. Sir Quentin Hadley. I really do like this mythic. I'm actually using it for the event, the Shady Dealings event that's going on. I'm using it in there. It's actually really good. Converts purple gems to yellow and green gems to skulls. So it is a skull conversion troop. But it will also do spell damage on top of it, doing skull, creating skulls there for you, which is good. And it says 2 random enemies, but if you have only 1 enemy left, this damage here will actually hit that enemy twice. So instead of doing 31 to the last enemy, it would do like 62. So that's pretty cool. It also gives all knight allies 50% starting mana, which is good. The Great Maw is actually a really good legendary. It's a really good one for a lot of reasons. You know, if an enemy team in, like, let's say PvP, the hero class doesn't have the Fortitude trait, if you're using a class that doesn't have that Fortitude equipped, you can devour that hero, and a lot of times the hero is the most dangerous enemy on that team. So a lot of times, very high mana cost for a legendary, and you can only use it once, but it is a really great way to disrupt an enemy team. So those are 2 pretty good legendaries. And we got a couple other really good legendaries. Divinia here is one of my all-time favorite mana generating and support troops. For 15 mana cost, this thing is amazing. It explodes all red gems, cleanses all allies, and gives them life. Cleanse is really powerful, and obviously life is good. Its traits are really good too because it's immune to mana burn, mana drain, mana steal, and it causes a random status effect on an ally on 4 or 5 gem matches, which means that you can get barrier, you can get enchant, you can get reflect, all these cool positive status effects. The other cool thing here is as a mana generator, exploding all red gems. This is like one of the best mana generators also for early game, because a lot of the exploders are based on your magic. This is not based on your current magic, so it will explode all the red gems on the board, which means you're going to get a lot of times like a full board explosion. So really good troop. Highly recommend Divinia if you can get your hands on it. Keelan here is also a really good legendary troop. It is a convert mana color and skulls. Plus it will also bless 2 random allies, but yeah, it's really great for skull teams. Urskula, I don't really use it that much. It's not that fantastic of a troop, but it is one of those legendary troops that will make the similar troop types start with 50% mana. So that's pretty good to have. And Tesla. Tesla is a really good legendary troop. I've used this thing. This legendary troop is probably one of the great early game legendaries you can get because it's really good for things like higher delves. It's good for pet battles that can be difficult because its damage is boosted by all ally and enemy armor. So the higher the armor that the enemy has, the more true damage it's going to do. So this is a really good legendary troop here. I've used it early game all the way through late game. It's one of those legendary troops that's useful no matter what level you are at. And a couple other legendaries here. I don't know. The Basilisk, I haven't really used it that much. It's a newer legendary. I think it came out earlier this year. Deals some true damage, and there's a lot of other things in here, poison and whatnot. The Silent one, it's kind of a really unique one. I haven't used it much, but it is useful in disrupting the enemy team. It will silence all enemies and itself. So if you want to shut down spell damage on all the enemies, this is a legendary troop that will be very useful for that. Moving on here, we got 18,000 more to go through. We didn't get any legendaries that time. That was the first time we didn't get any. Matron Dragatani. Now, for those of you that watched a few of my new game playthroughs here on Gems of War, I got this one like very early on before I was even a level 100. And I used it quite a bit, so it was really good for the early game. But I've tested it out here on my main account, and I just can't really, get the damage really significant and boosted up on it at all. So, I mean, it creates some gems. Then it deals 29 damage to the first and last enemies boosted by blue gems. The boost ratio is at 2. It's very, very low. You have to have even at like 20 blue gems on the board, you're just going to do like an extra like 40 damage maybe. Which really isn't that high when you're when you're really leveled up like I am and you're facing troops that have all these medals and extra stat boosts. Crimson Bat, legendary troop here, deals true damage to all enemies, gains life. So I haven't really used this too much recently, but early on, this is a pretty decent troop for doing true damage. Plus, it's pretty tanky in the sense that it gains that life. But I wouldn't rank it as high as some of the other legendaries. It's like average. Holy Saint Astra and another Keelan. Holy Saint Astra is a good support troop. It's great for humans. It makes all humans start with 50% mana. It gives life and armor to all allies. It creates a light storm, and it will enchant all humans. So it's a really good support troop. The only thing that it doesn't have going for it is cleanse, and that's kind of sad. If it had cleanse, man, that would be almost an S tier troop, but it's still really good as it is. We got King Mikhail here. This is an okay troop in like a full Urskaya team that's using boosting damage by being enraged and all that kind of stuff, but I don't really use it too much. It's like a little below average for me. Ha! We got it again. I wonder the odds of getting the same exact legendary troop in the very next key opening. That's crazy odds. No legendaries there either. We're halfway through our seals here already. No sign of this mythic troop. Garuda, it's a little below average legendary. Doulahan and Kraken. Doulahan is like one of the weirdest legendaries. Well, not the weirdest, but it's kind of in the weird category. It deals damage to an enemy boosted by ally and enemy deaths, which is odd. And then it does have lethal damage, but it kills either the first enemy or the first ally. And so you got a 50% chance to kill your own ally, including itself. So if this troop is at the top of your team and has a 50% chance to kill itself, you know, I don't really, like, nobody I've seen really uses that troop because it's just so weird. Like, yeah, it's a 50% chance that your top troop is going to die. Anyway, the Kraken is also a really good legendary. It's not as used as much these days as it was back, you know, a year or 2 years ago maybe. It was all over the place in teams back then, but it's still pretty decent. It has a 35% chance to devour the last enemy. Creates blue gems, so it does some spell damage. Deals 3 damage to all enemies on 4 or 5 gem matches. It's still good. I would say that it's a little above average still. You know, this video might be a little bit long just because we're opening keys and I'm going through and talking about all these legendary troops, but I feel like, you know, I haven't given you guys like a whole lot of content in the past week or so, so I'm just kind of like trying to make this video a little bit more than just, hey, watch me open keys and either not get it or get it, you know. So I'm just talking about some of these legendaries as we get them. So Nimue here is a pretty good legendary. Transfers yellow gems to skulls and red gems to purple. It will silence the 2 strongest enemies. And silence is one of the best negative status effects because it shuts them down. They can't gain mana and they can't cast any spells when they're silenced. The only thing they could do is attack you with skull damage. But other than that, silence is pretty amazing. Steals 4 life from the first enemy and matching green gems. So that's pretty cool. I'd say it's a little above average because it does the silencing and it does the conversion with skulls. So that's great. We're down to 7,000 seals. Jarl, Fire Mantle, and King Sealness. So the Jarl used to be a really great troop. I mean, it's still, I don't know, it's a little below average for me. It creates mana. It's really one of the only reasons I use it these days, if I do end up using it. Does a little bit of spell damage, but mainly for that mana generation there. King Sealness is pretty good, actually. It makes all wild folk start with 50% mana, and there's a lot of good wild folk troops in this game. A lot of them. Will deal splash damage to an enemy, boosted by wild folk allies, and it steals 1 magic from all enemies affected by the spell, then it burns them all. So that's a pretty good one. I'd say it's above average legendary. And where are you, mythic troop? We haven't got a legendary in like 3 openings. Gru's the undefeated. No. What a waste of a key. This thing is like the worst legendary troop in the game. Well, maybe the second. Ho ho, we got it. Hey. I actually am surprised. I really am surprised. I thought for sure that I was not going to get it in these seals. Like, my luck maybe has started to turn around a little bit. Anyway, I'll talk about Krampus here since we got him. This is also a really strange legendary troop. It has like a 33% chance to devour a troop or transform them. Wait. Yeah, okay. Deals damage to an enemy and submerge them. or devour them, or transform. Okay, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, about a 33% chance. Either it's going to submerge them, or it's going to devour them, or it's going to transform them into a demon. So it's just a really odd troop because, I mean, transform is pretty powerful. Submerge doesn't do, like, that's really like a negative, to your team. Devour them is awesome. Transform could be good or it could be bad depending on what it transforms them into. But yeah, weird legendary troop there. So we got it, Amarok. Yeah. So we got this bad boy. Pretty cool art. I like how he's it's like this dog that's like made of lava, volcanic dog, or wolf, something cool. Elemental beast, makes sense. We we used almost all of our seals. We had 22,000. We have 1,298 left. Wow. I guess my luck. Lack. Oh man, my tongue sometimes can't pronounce words. My luck turned around, finally. So now we can save up our gem keys. I have 944 of those. I got over 2,000 glory keys. We can just save all of those for next month. That'll be great. So let's go in here. I just want to check out this troop here real quick. Amarok. What? Must have misspelled the thing. Alright, I'll just go through and search it. Ah, it's right at the top. Nice. Traits. I'm just going to go ahead and fully trade it. Level this bad boy up. And let me see if I can. Let's do a quick test. I see what they're doing now on these upgrade offers for $35. They're selling medals of Nisha, which give you an extra like 4 magic damage. So I mean that's tantalizing, but $35. I mean, I'm not gonna spend that. I'm still debating whether I want to spend the $10 on on this campaign. So here's the thing, guys. I'm going on vacation next week, camping with my significant other, and so there won't be a Monday Soulforge video this week because of that. So because I have to be here to actually make that video. Some content I can make and schedule for it to get released in the week, even when I'm not there. But for the Soulforge video, like I on Monday, I have to be here to actually record that. I can't record it earlier. So sorry about that. It's 1 week where there isn't going to be one of those unless I get back early enough from camping and traveling so that I can make it later in the week, but it probably won't be relevant at that point. But we'll see. But the one thing I was going to mention here is that I'm still debating whether I want to pay the $10 for the Elite Pass, because since I'm going on vacation for this week and I'm going camping in kind of a remote sort of region in my state, and I might not have good internet connection on my phone or anything where I can play Gems of War, so I might not be able to complete any of the tasks this next week for the campaign. So like I'm really unsure if I want to pay the $10 and then be like, oh crap, like I can't. There was a whole week where I didn't do tasks, so I'm missing like 100 stars. Then they're gonna, in order to get the mythic troop here, then it's almost like, oh, now I gotta upgrade, pay another $15 to get the 20 stars per week because I missed a week because I was out camping on vacation. So that's just another reason why I don't like this campaign. The tasks feel like chores sometimes. It feels like I'm going out of my way to do things in the game that aren't as fun, And it feels like a chore to do a lot of these tasks. You can see I already completed them for this week, but a couple of them were like the 6 arena runs, which was just kind of like wasn't fun, but I did it anyway because I didn't want to pay like the 50 or 100 gems or whatever it was to skip the task. But you know, I don't know, but that's my dilemma, guys. When you're on vacation and you don't complete any of those tasks, maybe I'll get back early enough from vacation and I complete all the tasks like the very last day. I mean, obviously I'll try to do that, but still, it's just like that's another reason why I'm not really, not really digging this this new campaign. But I guess I've beat on that enough in the past videos, so I won't talk about that anymore. But let's go in and see if we can make a team here really quick for this new mythic troop. Let's put this guy in here, and I don't need those. We're going to wing it. We're just going to wing it. This is probably not going to be the best team for this troop, but I'm just winging it here to see if we can get it to devour troops. So I'm using Sunspear like I talked about because of the Firestorm here, starting every turn in the traits. That's going to give us a lot of red mana, a lot of red gems, and that will increase its chance to devour. Now, I don't know what weapon I want to choose and what other troops. So we definitely need something to generate mana. And burning would be great, but it already has a burn here on 4 or 5 gem matches, so we're going to get some from that. Yeah, what else could I do? I mean, we could throw in the Possessed King real quick, and we could do Leprechaun, because I like my exploding, and the Possessed King is really just for more exploding there. As far as a weapon, I don't really know what, maybe a weapon that burns? What weapon burns all enemies? Here we go. Fiend Fire, it burns all enemies. So, banner, let's change it to double red, purple. Yeah, double red, purple, and we'll just rename this real quick. Amarok. Sunspear. Totally misspelled the name there. Switch these vowels around. That's why I couldn't find it in the search. Alright, so we got the purple for the Fiend Fire there and that. Let's just see what happens. Like I said, I'm just winging this. There's probably a much, much better team. And it's already full. And we have 17 red gems on the board. Boost ratio is 68. Nothing is on fire yet, but it's 68 plus 2. So we have a 70% chance for it to devour right now. And it didn't devour this. It's not even immune either. Well, that sucks. Now it's up again. Let's try it. Hey, hey, it devoured. Let's go ahead and burn these guys. Can this be devoured? Oh, it's immune to devour. You gotta be kidding me, man. Come on, buddy. Hey, what the heck? How did it just devour that when it's immune to devour? Alright, I don't need to do the pet battle. Well, maybe we could go do the pet battle now. I don't want to extend this video too much longer, but... that was weird. Wasn't that... I checked, and it was immune to devour. Unless it got stunned right before it got devoured? Like, it has, you know, that's the one problem about having your speed up to 4. I have my speed of the turns and everything up to 4, which I like doing that because it makes the battles quick. But when you see something happen that you're like, what just happened? It makes it weird. Like when you can't figure out what just happened, you know? Alright, we have... Wow, okay. I mean, this troop is not, like, as reliable as High King Iron Gut, like I said earlier. But, wow, yeah, see right here, we got 19 red gems. There's 2 burning enemies. So all of that boosted to 84%. Well, then you got this, so 86% that I can devour. Boom, and I just did devour. Now it went down a little bit, but I mean it's still a dangerous troop. Wow, okay. Yeah, I think it's definitely A tier, but you definitely need to use Sunspear with to get all those red gems. And but yeah. Hey, that's a pretty good troop. I'm glad I got it. My luck turned around. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys in this video. And yeah, I guess that's it. I'm glad I got it, and I hope all of you guys have good luck opening your keys trying to get this mythic troop. As sad and depressing as it is when you spend all your keys and you don't get it, believe me, I can I can sympathize with all of you that have the bad luck. And but you still got the Soul Forge. You can save up your diamonds, and when this thing comes around in there, you can craft it. So there's always that option. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Later.